We are Green Room Radio. Welcome back to the show. Super James, Tru, and Domo checking in for another edition. Thank you guys for tapping back in with us. We appreciate you. And our special guest on the show this week, Brad Lee. Am I saying it right?
You ain't lying.
Hey, I've been calling you since I've been following you. Brad Leia. Is the A silent? Until I watched your full thing, I learned that it was Lee. How is it Lee spelled L-E-A?
Well, it's only Leah if you drink Tia. You drink Tia?
It's a really good way to break it down.
Yeah.
You get in a boat and go out to Sia?
Well, no, I was actually really surprised. I'm like, Brad Lee. And I'm like, well, you know what? I did call you Bradley one time in a text message.
What about split pea soup?
Split pea? I used to love split pea.
No, L-E-A says it spells Lee.
Yeah, it actually does, and I can't believe I didn't think of that because I'd always say.
That's just how you look at it. I think.
What I always say, I was like, man, I want to have the Brad Leia come on.
You know, the name originated as L-E-E. Robert E. Lee was a trader back in the day. He fought for the opposite side of where he's from, so his family didn't want to be associated with him anymore as L-E-E. So they switched their name to L-E-A. Believe it or not.
Wow.
Facts.
So is that what is your I mean, does that have anything to do with a race? Like, what are you? Are you?
Well, I mean, I Irish. I'm a mutt myself.
I'm Irish. I'm 50% Irish, 50% Indian.
Yeah, my dad was Spanish and Irish. My mom was a mix, so I'm like a mutt.
Hey, did I see you're from Seattle?
No,
but you said you lived there for a while.
I did.
Okay, so let me tell you my quick story about that. Not about Seattle, but I tell people because I heard you say that you were a car salesman. My brother just so happens to be one too. But this is the order I put it in Vegas for the worst people to fuck with. Number 1, car salesman. Number 2, hookers. Number 3, drug dealers. But car salesmen win number 1.
They're at the top.
My brother's been doing it about 20 years. He will sell me a piece of shit car. He don't give a fuck that I'm his brother, that it's going to break down a week later.
Yeah, but car salesmen don't know if it's going to break down.
Oh, well, that's true.
They just know.
But do they?
Yeah,
no, I think you're thinking of like
they're not mechanics.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think if it was used, you said you worked at was it Acura?
I have worked at an Acura store, yeah.
I feel like you're categorizing them as like those used, like if you see just a used car on the corner, like a random, used car lot with the cars that have like 200,000 miles on them. Like there's a big difference between them and
stereotype.
Hey, look, my brother, my younger brother, he worked for Finley for about 15 years. They shot him out. They bought 18 dealerships in Arizona. They made him a 3% owner. So he's living in Prescott, Arizona right now. But like I said,
so are you saying your brother's that type of person?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He moved. He came out. He got a job, and I was like, "What are you doing selling cars, man? Like, you need money now. Like, what are you doing?" And he just kept it quiet. And then one day he left his tax return out, and I took a look at it. It said like 280, and I'm like, "You making 280 a year selling Volkswagen?" So I didn't find this out till later on down the road, but he became best friends with the 2 Finley brothers. And so they would field calls. And even though they weren't making commissions, they'd give my brother guaranteed sales.
So he went, a desk.
Yeah, so he just went from all these different positions right into a percentage
But I guess
owner.
it's the art of the sale, right? Got to be a good salesman.
So did you work, was it most dealerships are used and new.
Yeah.
Was yours both?
Yep.
And so did you ever purposely sell somebody a car that you knew that might be okay or it might not?
No. No.
Well, that's good.
So
He's thinking of like
I'm 100% ethical. All salespeople are not equal.
I believe that. That is true.
So now, the motivational speaking and what would you categorize yourself as? Your podcast, your YouTube
I'm
videos?
a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you're not a podcaster. I heard you say that.
Not really.
Yeah. What did you say you were instead of a podcaster? Because I did hear you say that you don't.
I'm a businessman.
You're a businessman.
I own businesses. I build businesses. That's what I do. I don't motivationally speak either. Although people get motivated when I speak for some reason.
So that's what I mean.
Wait,
Yeah.
did
What
you
do you
speak at a YouTube conference?
I spoke it like, I'm speaking probably 20 to 50 times a year, it seems.
Okay.
I can't remember all the places. They hire me for like 50 G's usually to come and talk for an hour. And I say, what do you want me to talk about? And they say, anything. And I'm like, okay, that sounds like a good deal. So I show up and, I fill out the crowd and figure out, what it is they're there to learn. Like, why are you here? Why'd you buy a ticket to this thing?
Right.
And then try to give them knowledge that I've picked up over the years.
I heard a quote from you that said, you said you'd like to get the knowledge from people that have it and give it to the people that need it.
That's right.
So
that's awesome.
I know. I mean, I
well,
think
that's why people fail, because they don't have the right information.
Mm-hmm. So what does that stem from for as far as you, besides obviously you're as being a successful businessman, but wanting to give this knowledge and wanting to use that to help others as opposed to just focusing on yourself and your own businesses?
Well, ironically, believe it or not, that is how you get more. Mm-hmm. If people stop focusing on trying to get rich themselves and start figuring out how to get everybody else rich, mm-hmm. they get rich.
That's really crazy you said that, because that is a role that I consider that I play a lot. I said in my career and what I did, I wasn't the guy, but I was the guy to help the guy. And I said, I like that position. I don't want to be the guy, but I like to help people out. And, something I always said, and this is definitely something I wanted to ask you, I always use the comment, like, I've tried to take people and they tell me where they're trying to go, and I'm like, I can get you there. And, usually you get them to the door and it just stops. So I always use the quote. I'm like, I feel like you either have it or you don't. I mean, do you think that's true, or do you think that everybody does have it? It's just...
Well, it depends on what it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm saying, like, people will, like, for instance, I took a girl one time and she was trying to get a record deal. So I get her to the table at the record deal, and basically she just went north and failed it. And so somebody had told me, I was so blown away that happened, but they were like, I think she just wanted to say that she got a record deal. It wasn't even about getting the record deal. She just wanted to accomplish getting there.
I think it's a fact that you will not outperform your own self-image. So maybe she didn't think enough of herself. Who knows?
Yeah, no, that could definitely be true.
People subconsciously don't like themselves just because of the years of conditioning and messaging that they've been given, whether it's by their parents or an ex or something. And then deep down subconsciously, which is below awareness, below, conscious, aware, below your awareness, you don't even like yourself. So you literally start making decisions based on what you think you deserve. And if you don't like yourself, you don't think you deserve a record deal. You don't think you deserve money. You don't think you deserve that shit. So you make choices subconsciously to make sure that remains true, to where you ain't going anywhere. So that's why I always tell people, most people are trying to figure out externally what to do to change things. They need to start internally, change that, raise your self-worth, and you'll raise your net worth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear.
We got a bomb button around here.
Yeah, I was watching your YouTube. Yeah, you have those little bombs. I know. We need that on a coffee mug.
Is that the bomb button? That's
that one's too long.
Oh.
There it is.
There it is.
Where did you come up with that? It's your show, or your what do you consider if you don't consider it a podcast?
It's a podcast.
It's
a podcast. I'm just not a podcaster.
Okay. Like you're saying.
Like somebody said, are you going to, podcaster world or whatever it was called? I forget. And I'm like, what's that?
They have that?
Well,
they
do.
Like
they do big old convention. All the podcasters show up.
Oh shit! I gotta go to this.
And anything about podcasting is there. All the vendors, all the equipment, everybody's there. Why?
Because
but you're beyond that.
Well, I'm not beyond that. I'm not a podcaster.
That's not what you're doing it for. It's just a way for you to get your info out.
Yeah,
it's all I did is like, I don't like to be hypocritical. So when my mission is to get the knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it, this is a medium that was growing.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm going to start a podcast because I got all these people walking in my studios. Why can't I just sit them down like this and just have a conversation, pick their brain, and maybe, people that are listening might get something from that and solve their problems and go further in life. So I just started grabbing them. Hey, sit down. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. It's got a couple microphones and a background and shit. I got a little dough, so I made it look fucking good.
Got a good editing team.
Hey, I see on your thing. I see you have a flag behind you. Was that your dad, military?
No, someone just gave me that.
They just gave it to you?
Yeah, like a knick-knack.
Really? Those
knicknacks
usually come from dead fathers.
We got some knickknacks.
I didn't know that until someone said that.
It's folded and everything. Yeah, that's the one that's go over the casket.
Yeah, they said, "Where'd you get that?" And I said, "Someone gave it to me." And they're like, "What? That's weird." I'm like, "Why? Why? It's cool. It's a flag." They're like, "Yeah, but that means somebody died." I'm like, "Oh shit, should I get rid of it?" Like,
it's already been there for a little bit.
No, because then that'll give you bad juju for just throwing them away.
Well, yeah, like I saw that. I've seen that at her house, and her dad was obviously in the military. So I'm like, okay, they give that flag. So I was like, I wonder if you came from a military background.
I don't know anybody that was killed in the war.
Okay, you don't have to be killed in the war to get one. You just if you pass away,
they're veterans.
Yeah.
The president gives you a nice little letter.
That's nice.
Actually, you have to buy the frame for the flag.
Do you remember where it came from?
Your dad got it from Trump.
No. Yeah, I got. No.
I'll give you mine.
That's the unknown soldier.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was wondering if you.
I'm sure he was a nice guy.
I'm gonna have to make up a story for it now.
Yeah, might as well, because I bet it comes up often.
It's come up a couple times.
Yeah.
You see, I pay attention. Speaking of detail.
By the way, are you guys podcasters?
No. So listen. So what we say when people say that,
I might be a little, but yeah, I'm a radio show host.
We say radio show.
Okay. So is this a radio show?
We're on the radio show.
Where does it play on? What radio station?
YouTube, Spotify, Apple.
So we're
where podcasts are played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For now.
Are you guys trying to be different?
No, we're basically grooming to go over to M&M station, which is Shade 45. So we obviously, I wasn't a radio show guy. This guy was the vet. She went on our radio show.
I did Joey Diaz's podcast.
Oh yeah, that dude's funny.
That's
all
my
you
homie.
need's three motherfuckers.
Three motherfuckers. Yeah.
That's my homie. And then I went on.
Tell him to get on my podcast.
I will. I can't. We'll take a picture and I'll send it to him.
I'm pretty sure he'll
But he's
go on
in.
his show.
So he's in Jersey now.
Yeah, he was out of LA.
He's starting to get back into traveling.
You know how we got him? Yeah, so he's like Joe Rogan.
I have a radio voice, no?
Yeah, you do.
Hello, everybody. 95 degrees
or a strip
here
club DJ.
I was going to say
strip club DJ.
Strip club DJ.
Yeah.
Tiffany coming up on stage 5.
That's it right there.
Make sure you tip your waitress.
Hey, Michael Sartain, shout out to him. He said he was a strip club. He did the voice in here.
Michael Sartain. He believes the moon landing was real.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what they?
Matter of fact, he gets pissed. He gets pissed
Did
about it.
you guys get in a debate about that?
Not really a debate because I don't fucking know, but it sure doesn't look real. I'm only going to debate shit that I know.
Yeah.
But it sure does not look real.
When people really want to debate stuff that they can't prove.
Dude, here's my question. They got grainy ass fucking cameras today. Now you're telling me way back then they had a camera that could fucking get to the Earth from the moon?
live streaming.
Yeah, they were live streaming from the moon.
Hey, Michael would be like 44,000 gigawatt type 6.5.
Yeah, he'd say, you don't understand, Brad. The polyunsaturated hydrocarbons that flow through the medulla oblongata increase the blood flow of the erector pili.
Yeah, no.
Now, I was doing my science major, studying, whatever the fuck.
He sounds like it's almost mesmerizing, and I'm like,
shout out to
he's a smart dude.
He is a very smart dude.
But again, you can be smart and still be duped.
Yeah, well,
and I believe, it's just my opinion, that it was fucking fake. There's no way like those little skinny ass rails, and you're telling me that there was a camera operator filming those motherfuckers getting out? How'd they get there first? Right?
They woke up early that day.
And it's all clear as a bell and shit. Like, fuck, we can't get cameras today to do this shit. But yet 1941 or whenever the hell we hit the moon, 69, when was it?
I don't even.
69. And
you see the machines? Did you see the units that they went in? They were like made of tin foil and shit about this thick. Did you see them? Go look at him.
It was probably off a movie set from another.
Hey, you know what I always think when I think about Michael when he was telling us this stuff? I'm like, he's usually preaching this to that flock of girls that's around him, and I'm like, I think
he does. He definitely has a flock of girls.
He
around
does
him.
have a he does have a flock of girls, and I'm like,
we ladies make the whole scenery.
Dude, I say that's how you know there's a God.
Oh,
women.
Yeah.
Guess who else would have made that? and look how look how perfectly they made it.
Yeah,
like everything fits. Like your shit's right where my shit is, and it fits together. And like, come on, who does that? Like, who thinks of that? Like, I know I'm gonna make something with a receiver.
Hey, something you said on one of your videos that I was laughing about for weeks. You were talking about the term fruitcake.
Yeah, fruitcake.
And so I actually spent the last 2 days looking for a fruitcake for you.
Well, you'd be the third person that does that.
and so I wasn't able.
I just did a keynote down in Phoenix, and they present me with a fruitcake. It's like, dude, I just said don't do this.
Yeah. So I was
your
like,
time, you wasted your money.
Yeah. So I
signed it and told them to auction it off and left it.
Oh.
Dude, but I'm like, man, he said fruitcake.
Well, what's the story? What's the story
behind
it?
Fruitcake. Like, fucking stupid. You ever eat some?
Word? No.
Exactly. Who the fuck has? Name someone who's ate fruitcake before.
Hey, everybody was
my mom.
Your mom's not eating a fruitcake. Call her. I'll bet you she said no. And if she says yes, she's one of the only people on earth.
She says yes, she believes the moon landing was real.
I called Freed's. I called Costco. Everybody was like, it was like an antique.
Oh, we're out of fruitcake. It was just Christmas. Yeah, everybody gets fruitcake.
You know what they told me? They're like, try Home Goods in the Christmas section.
Wait, Home Goods?
Home Goods. Oh, so here, Brad, we have. This is cool about our show.
She's gonna make me wrong.
I was just saying.
Hey, Mom, I have a question. Do you eat fruitcake? If somebody gave you a fruitcake, would you eat it?
Fruitcake?
She doesn't even know what a fruitcake is.
Mom's been bullshitting.
Okay, Mom. All right, I'll call you back.
So,
later.
Brad, on your show, we're like,
do you dig into this?
Do you have the beautiful Rachel that we have on our show? That
no, I do not.
She just shows up with these gifts,
dressed appropriately.
Yes,
dressed appropriately
for the weather outside.
Should I feel what this is?
What do you think it is?
What do you think it is?
Socks, probably. Lululemon no-shows. Oh, fuck yeah.
And
but they're not no-shows.
Hey, and you know what?
No, I can't have these.
Hey,
these are not no-shows.
Hey,
what are you guys doing? These are like booties.
Hey,
girls use booties.
The booties.
These are booties.
Hey, Domo, what did I tell you today when you were there?
Extra large.
No, but what did I tell you? I said
extra large is correct.
Yeah. Hey, I said he wears no-show socks, and I go probably white ones. I wear black no-shows, but
I got black no-show, white no-show, gray no-show, neon yellow no-show.
So you got the color right, just the no-shows.
As long as they're no-show, but don't feel bad. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
So yeah,
hey, it's the thought that counts, right?
It is the thought. I did go into Lululemon.
But by the way, that's very thoughtful.
Hey, she did tell me. She's like, I bought regular socks. I'm like, bro. Way beyond regular socks.
I didn't buy regular socks. I went to Lululemon.
Not regular socks. I'm talking the no-show to the full-size sock.
Hey,
it's just nice of you guys to give me a gift, though. That's nice.
Right. 2 gifts.
Yeah.
Because Rachel's a gift.
Well.
Yeah. And
I mean, you can consider that a gift.
It's that she's a gift.
So the craziest, not the craziest, I would say the nicest gift somebody got me was I was telling a story that when I was 6.5, I entered a swim meet, and they told my dad, he belongs in the guppies, which is the guppy league.
Guppies.
Yeah, doesn't sound very.
When you start, you have to start in the guppies.
Okay.
And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm a guppy because I've never swam before. So I start with the guppies, and our first swim meet, I dive in and beat everybody so badly.
Every guppy?
That they disqualified me.
Oh.
Wait, what?
They disqualified me because I was too fast, and they said he's not supposed to be in this league.
Like if you cheated, like if you were lying?
Like he's too fast, he should not be in the guppies. Guppies are for like little
you guys put me here.
Yeah, that's where they told me to go. That's where I went, and I've never swam, and I was like technically a guppy. I was just obviously incredibly talented.
It's a very well-groomed girl.
I was like a badass guppy.
I've never.
I was like a guppy piranha or something.
A guppy piranha.
Yeah, but anyway, so I lost, which was crazy, and that's the only sporting event my dad ever went to. My dad was kind of like, children should be seen and not heard. He wasn't like a dad that teaches you shit. He just made sure we didn't die by
a provider.
Yeah, there's food. Shut the fuck up. And he was he'd never go to my sporting events, so that was the first one and the last one he ever went to, and it was bullshit because like I beat him so bad it was unbelievable. Well, I told this dude that on a podcast, and then I get this. She didn't bring it, unfortunately, but I get this gift, and I open it up, and what's that? A G-string? Just joking.
Hey, by the way,
she's like, oh shit, I left it in there.
There's something in there.
By the way, do you know that?
It's a bow.
Do you know that brand? By the way,
yeah.
Because she was like, she switched the bag, and she was like, oh, he'll know that brand, and I'm like, what is it? And
yeah, that's like what she's wearing.
She's like, you think?
Well, yes, they do have swimwear.
She said she goes.
Is that swimwear?
She told me, she said, you're still into Victoria's Secret. That shit's old. And I was like, I don't never heard of Agent Provocateur.
Agent Provocateur.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, it's like a Victoria's Secret.
It sounds.
It is a French designer. Those are $700 sets.
Wow.
Yeah, Victoria's Secrets is like maybe
the same
$200.
but cheaper.
All with a hole in the crotch.
They do have those. They might have little jewels on them now.
So anyway, I opened this gift from this guy, and it's a trophy from the Guppies, first place, and it had a little note that said, I want to make the history correct. I want to correct history because you won and you should have won. And
wait, so after the podcast, he mailed it to you, or? Oh wow,
he was a good dude.
A lot of work.
Good dude.
Yeah,
Turned out to be a really good dude. Then he went and committed suicide.
Whoa.
Oh man.
Because you didn't like his trophy?
No. I loved his trophy. Sure. It almost made me tear up because, like, if you heard the story, it was like a, he was trying to heal me.
Yeah, because the damage with your father being there.
That's he thinks there was damage there, but I don't.
It's
but
just a story that came up.
You disqualified me. Suck a dick.
So I have a question because you say you're a businessman.
I am one.
What business did you start where you were very successful?
A company called Lightspeed VT for one.
Now I see that show up when you called. I saw that on my phone.
Yeah.
It has to do with phone technology or what?
No,
what is
it's a web-based interactive training solution that companies use. And a lot of, people like, big name trainers like Tony Robbins.
How come we don't have it?
Well, because I don't know. I don't have everybody in the world.
What kind of business advice would you give for ladies who are in OnlyFans or
before he answers
really popular
that,
I would call Black China and have her tell me.
Before you answer.
If you have any business advice for the ladies.
I heard, Brad, that you have 7 kids. Now I heard 7 daughters. Is that true?
No.
Okay. I was like, there's no way.
Is that a rumor that flies around? Or
no, I just didn't. I was like, if he has 7 daughters, that is unbelievable.
5 daughters, 2 boys. Wow. 7 kids, indeed. I like to do it.
Same wife? Same mom?
No.
Oh, okay.
7?
How many different moms?
Wow.
4?
It's not bad.
And
7.
So you're saying your net worth would have been higher had you not committed to all these?
Oh, for sure.
But it's the circle of life, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy come, easy go. But, I believe in abundance. There's enough money out there. It doesn't matter that I give a lot of it away. I can go get more. I'm one of the blessed folks that can go make it.
So you don't.
So are women, by the way. women are like shit. If you ask me, women have the power. You know what I'm saying?
Why is
do you think
that?
they have the advantage
They just
over
don't.
guys?
Oh, absolutely. They just don't know it. And some of them know it.
What do you mean by we don't know it?
You've got the vagine. Mm-hmm. and guys would kill for vagine.
I do. I specialize in financial domination. So
well, again, if women understand they've got the power, they can wield it and never be broke.
Do you know what that is?
Sometimes I feel bad because I see someone that's homeless on the street and they happen to be female, and I think to myself, how?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, like, dude, you must be dumb or something. Like, how are you homeless when you have a vagine?
That is
a vagine.
That's spot on. Did you have a boy or a girl first?
I had girls first, 2 girls.
Okay.
And from 2 women. 17 years old. One time I did it. Bam.
What?
One time. And then I got pregnant, so I thought, fuck, I ain't doing that again. So I waited for like a year and a half, and I thought, okay, I'll do it again. And fuck it. And by the way,
second time?
One time with this girl, another one.
Your sperm are not guppies.
I'm like,
crazy you said that, because that's exactly what happened to me. I have a 17-year-old and I have a 2-year-old, and it was almost like a one-time deal, and bam, there it goes.
Well, what's funny is
the 2 times True's had sex.
What's funny is because my current wife's friend was over at the house.
Did you say wives?
Wife.
Okay.
Wife's friend. She's over at the house, and she wanted to get pregnant apparently really bad, and she tells her boyfriend they're walking out and they're leaving, and Melissa's pregnant with our latest. She goes, I want to get pregnant like Melissa. And I said, well, you need to come over more often.
Whoa.
I can show you how that was done.
Whoa.
Like, well, then you'd be needing to meet me.
How did he take
Hi,
it?
how you doing?
He laughed.
He laughed and then cried on the way home.
Well, they said they've been trying for a while.
Oh.
And it's like, I've never tried.
That's what I don't understand that comment.
None of my kids were like, I want a child, let's fuck and make one. We just fucked and made one. Yeah. Or made love, if that makes you feel
sounds
better.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't understand when people say that, like, we're trying to have a kid. I'm like, it's not that hard, really. Like,
for some people,
it is. For some.
Yeah.
Some people, unfortunately, they can't have one. So I'm going to have them for them.
He's trying to catch up to Nick Cannon.
The Bible says, "Go forth and replenish the earth."
Are you like on that Nick Cannon wave where you want to impregnate all these women?
No.
What is Nick Cannon on? Did he have 13?
He's got 13 kids.
13 kids.
Oh God.
That's why his name's Cannon.
Actually, that's what his brother was on our show, and he said I didn't realize outside of Mariah Carey, he was with Nicole Scherzinger. I mean, he's been with every Hollywood A-lister.
Well, dude, he's got some game then.
They said he had a cannon.
He's a comedian.
That's what his brother said.
He has a cannon in his pants.
Well, that's what Pete Davidson supposedly has.
Yeah.
How do you
get?
How do you get Kim if you don't have one of those?
Clout.
Yeah.
No, not just.
No,
he ain't got that much.
Not her.
No.
Pete Davidson, he ain't got clout.
Clout.
Yeah, if anything,
He might have gout.
He definitely don't have clout.
What the hell?
Yeah, no,
Pete Davidson, he's goofy.
Yeah,
he's a goofy kid.
Yeah, but hey, but what can you do?
Hey, I mean,
they like humor.
They should.
That's what it is. They're both comedians.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nick's comedian.
Make him laugh and forget you're ugly.
So I had some people that gave me some questions for you.
Would you do Pete?
Depends.
That's like a story now.
I know.
Hey, real quick before she answers that,
I do like funny guys. So he has some points.
We were traveling one time, and we were bored, and she was like, "If you could be with one person, who would you pick?" And I picked this lady, Yolandi Visser, from this group Die Antwoord. D Antwoord. And then I asked her, and she said Machine Gun Kelly. I've never looked at her the same. I've never looked at her the same.
That's a real random one.
He's walking around in a corset and stuff like that and drinking blood.
Which, by the way, Bad Bunny, he's before you make it to that top echelon, Bad Bunny's in dresses and all kinds of pretty things. Cross-dressing, yes.
Yeah, they did a music video where they put like a woman's body on him.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is
still not
super.
Know more.
So what do you think about, how old is your oldest daughter?
36.
36. So I heard some sort of little comment about how would you feel if your daughter went into OnlyFans?
How would I feel?
Number
one, I wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
Number two, depends. If she went in and made a shit ton of money, I'd be like happy for her and proud of her. But if she like didn't make any money, I'd be like, see, What the fuck you doing that for?
I agree with that because there's a lot of content creators that aren't making money, and
I mean, if you're gonna do it, make money. Which again should be the idea for doing it. Like if I were a female with a body, I'd be doing it more than likely.
Do you think Michael Sartain does it?
I don't know. Believe it or not, I've never been on one, or I don't even know. Is it an app? Like how do you get in there?
Hey, the funniest thing,
I've never even seen one.
Yeah, hey, she's like, let me see her phone.
I can show you on my phone. But
I've never been on any dating apps either.
Tinder, nothing.
No, but if I would have been around Tinder days, holy shit!
Before the
you probably have more than 7 kids,
dude. I guarantee it.
Would you be the Tinder swindler?
No, I'd be the fucking Tinder. I'd be the Tinder.
The Tinder.
Dude, I mean, all you do is swipe and be like, yep. And then pretty soon they start saying yep back, and then you meet up and
what else?
And then what? And then bomb.
Do what you got to do.
Bomb.
Hey, you have to
bomb effect.
You have to charm it out of them.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people on there. I wonder how many people on there are really looking for like true love. Like, who thinks they're really gonna find it on there, or if they're just looking for hookup? Like,
unfortunately,
it's got to be a small percentage that really think they're gonna
on
like,
there trying to fuck.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, sure.
Here in Vegas,
all the guys off of there are trying to fuck.
Yeah, every guy's trying to fuck. But I think here in Vegas, I swept through there, and it was a lot of escorts. So they were that was their platform. So they're sneaking in that way too.
The streets have came a little easier.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that if I were a prostitute, I would be making a lot of money, totally legal, because
legal.
100%.
How legal?
Well, I'd just be smarter than the law. Like, it's against the law to sell sex, right? But you could sell this for $500, and if I bought it, you'd be so happy you'd suck my dick.
Well, that was like you could buy a pipe and you comes with weed for free when weed's legal.
If she just totally wanted to blow me, that's legal.
Right.
But if I pay for it, it's not. But she could say, okay, buy my water for $500, and I'd be so fucking appreciative. I'd probably blow you, and then I'd be like, I'll buy your water for $500.
Damn, take notes, girls. That's
okay.
That is
So now I just purchased the water, and now you're just blowing me because you're so thankful
for that sale.
That is not
that's
paying for sex. That's paying for water, and I got sex because I did. Right?
Man, that's probably the best thing I've heard in Vegas since.
Damn.
Yeah,
I'm just saying you got to be smarter than the rules.
That is probably one of the smartest things I've heard. I'm around a lot of working girls, and if they would think
we ain't selling water.
They ain't selling water.
Sell some water.
Yeah.
Sell some water. Give away the vagine and sell the water. Actually, how about condoms? Sell $500 condoms and then let them use them.
Like a test
them.
drive?
Take it for a test.
No refunds.
Buy a pack of condoms. I'll let you use one.
Oh my god.
Well, they're $1,000 condoms. Oh shit, man, that's a good idea.
That's a fucking that's unreal, actually. So what it says on here, how do you balance being a father and a husband and a business guru all at the same time?
And a social media.
And you're very
I don't say I'm an influencer either.
I don't want to say influencer, but you're definitely up there.
Well, I don't know what, again, to me, an influencer, like, they go out on purpose and make content, and that's what they do. That's not
it's just another outlet for you.
I'm a businessman. I just happen to be on the internet. But, I'm getting a little bit of a following. That is true.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just going to let you know I'm a very tough person I'm kind of against all internet type of stuff. And you caught my attention, and, same way the Michael Sartain did, and I'm like, I started off and I'm like, all right, what's this guy about? Is this for real, whatever? And then it's just one of those things. You just captivated me right in there. And I'm like, as it was going, you seem to be getting funnier.
That's because I'm the real Brad Leah.
There's the Leah. See, there's the Leah. That's why I said.
You got little funny
Where'd the real come from? Where'd the real come from?
Well, I mean, there was a couple.
You got that from kids. Because you're like, there's fake. Is there some fake ones out there?
That's what I mean. Whenever people say the real something,
what's funny is a guy that I soon got to know started an account called the Fake Bradley, which he makes memes and just funny shit. And so at first when I saw it, I thought, oh great, someone's going to be screwing with me. But he just kept making these funny memes like.
But did it have to do with you?
Yeah, it was. It was almost like a fan page.
Oh wow!
Right.
Like he would say, he would show a pair of wet panties, and it would say, "Here's your girl's panties." When Brad says, "What it is," yeah, and then he would take other influencers like Grant Cardone, because me and him like arm wrestle and kind of butt heads sometimes. So he'd like, put a picture of Grant next to me, and it would say like, this is the avocado, or this is the guacamole when you make it, and this is 15 minutes later when your friends show up and there's a picture of Grant. Like, it's just funny because Grant's all.
Yeah.
But he was just hilarious. His meme, and everyone thought so. Andy Frisella, you know Andy?
No.
Like a lot of these, cool some bitches thought so too. They started following the page. I started following the page, and then people are like, "Is this you?" And I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Bullshit, dude."
You didn't have time to do that.
Well, yeah, because everything was so like. About me,
pro you, yeah,
pro me like a motherfucker. So I'm like, I like this page.
Yeah.
So anyway, they finally banned his page because he got a little bit, crazy during COVID. So we banned it, and I called him and I said, well, dude, make the real Fake Bradley. So it's back on.
Oh, he did it.
Yeah.
Hey, he didn't do that. Now everybody today, aren't they doing backup accounts? So they say on the backup accounts is where you can do your little dirt at. And if it gets erased, you don't care so much. But you don't do that on your real account. I think that's what.
I only have one account.
Yeah, I think that's what kids are.
Females. It's the one with the blue check
mark.
Which everybody seems to want. And I'm telling you guys right now, if y'all don't have one, it doesn't do anything.
What?
Yeah. What's
shit?
For
I've never checked into a hotel and they went blue fucking check mark.
Let me upgrade your room.
Let me put you in a suite.
Hold on, sir. You're top of the list.
They should do something.
But I bet it gives you some perks online on the app.
I've never felt any.
What?
One day I didn't have a blue check mark. Next day I did. Nothing changed.
Well, you're not.
Matter of fact,
you're not twerking on OnlyFans or anything like that.
No.
To benefit off of it.
Speaking of people losing their
merch.
But the question was, how do I balance?
How do you balance that? Yes.
I don't balance anything.
You wing it?
No, I just am it. Like, how do you balance wearing headphones? Like, and talking on a microphone. It's like, it's just you're doing it. Like, to me, how do you balance being a husband and a businessman and a freaking, what was the other one? Podcaster. Yeah. That's just what I do. It's not something that I'm balancing. It's something that I'm being.
Yeah, and even a dad. I mean, do you?
Yeah, dad.
A dad.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he got banned.
Who?
The real Fake Bradley.
Is it banned again? Dang.
Hey, you know who said they got banned was Michael Sartain. I just saw that.
Recently?
Look him up.
He got banned.
Whoa.
He did send
me. Talking about the moon.
The fake
because he was saying that it happened.
Yeah.
All the lies.
He does believe. He does believe it happened. He says, "You're an idiot if you think we didn't."
He'll fight you. He'll fight you on it.
But he was in the Air Force, so
he sent me something.
He's an astrophysicist.
Yeah, he lost me with all that.
He's got all those girls, and he likes to circle their anus. Or no, Uranus.
Yeah, I think sometimes people just throw so much information out there that they just make people believe them. Like, he just use so many big words that
he's honestly convinced. I could tell when I was talking to him.
Oh, no, for sure.
But because 100%. I don't know, I didn't argue with them or debate, but it's like, doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like
if you weren't there. If you weren't there on the moon, then I don't want to argue with you about that.
Right. Like I've had dudes that are like, wearing half shirts and talking like this, say they weren't gay, and I'm like, okay, I don't know. I'm not gonna argue with you. You sure look like it though.
You might want to work on that if you're not.
You sound like it. You look like it. I was assuming you were, but you don't want to be. You don't want to admit it. That's cool.
What do you think about all these guys? Like, I've been seeing multiple people, not just Michael, but I see a lot of people, and they're very quick out here in this town to say, "Oh, I do dog rescue." And when people say that, for me, it's like a red.
They do it.
Well, they organize events to raise money for animals or different charity events.
Well, I happen to be a fan of protecting animals, but not the ones we eat.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, I see that.
If you abuse dogs, I think you're scumbag.
Yeah.
Like a fucking helpless dog. Like, dude, what are you thinking?
But do you think Michael's really a dog lover? He didn't strike me as that.
Oh, I don't know. He must have affected you.
He did. Well, no, listen to how.
Something going on.
Hey,
listen, real life.
This is how he. Hey, this is how he affected. Well, because I wanted to get a perspective.
Let's FaceTime him.
Yeah. I had a.
Talk about the moon.
She gave me so many question marks with him, and he said, "Well, I'm a Christian man," and I'm like,
he didn't give me his number.
He's like, "I'm a Christian man," and I was like, "A Christian man wouldn't live at Panorama Towers. They'd probably have a house off the strip somewhere because." Panorama Towers is like a place where you would live to find a bunch of girls to roam the streets.
That's like your car salesman, like
that's an assumption.
Yeah,
assumption. Yeah. So
and believe it or not, like you can be a Christian and still like vagine.
Yeah,
believe it or not.
Well, yeah. What's all these Mormon people? Mormons
like vagine too. They just won't admit it.
Yeah.
Until they're married. Then they like the shit out of it. That's like if you go fishing, they say about Mormons, if you go fishing, you want to bring 2 Mormons so they don't drink your beer. Because if you only bring one and no one's looking, they'll drink it all.
So a Mormon can hold another Mormon accountable.
And like they don't have sex until they're married, supposedly the good ones. And I was talking to a Mormon kid, and they were talking about soaking. You ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
It's where they just they don't.
What is soaking?
Of course,
they don't fuck. They just stick it in and hold it there
and just hang out.
That's called soaking.
Yeah, so they will soak because that's not sex. And I'm like, see, if I were Mormon, I'd be like really indecisive when I'm soaking.
Wait a minute.
Hold on, I'm scared.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I'd stick it in and I'd say, okay, let's soak. Let's not. Let's soak. Let's not. Let's soak. Let's not. Can we soak again? Nope. I don't want to. Yeah, they just stick it in there.
I've never heard that term.
They just stick it in there and soak.
I would kill somebody.
Have someone Google it.
You ain't soaking in me.
Rachel, has anybody soaked in you before?
Have you heard that term before?
Not like a professional soaking.
There's professional.
I know, is there
soakers?
professional or what?
Oh my god!
Like, have you ever like cuddled like someone and like went to sleep and
Whoa.
just like had it and I had a boyfriend at one point in time.
I'm sure.
Got comfortable.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Had it in you.
Oh, good.
Wait, so that's I've never heard that.
Soaking.
I've never heard that. I need to go.
I mean, I
Investigate
don't know why
this.
I care that I haven't heard it, but
Do you have a daily routine that you follow?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a routine person?
Yes.
Do you think everybody should have a routine?
Yes.
Okay. I have a really stringent one.
I think most successful people have routines.
What kind of routine is a successful person having?
Well, they just have routines. It's not a certain kind of one, but usually routines and habits. I mean, we are where we are because of our mindset, skill set, or habits. So you're either fucked up or you're mega successful, and it's all mindset, skill set, habits. So if somebody wants to be successful and they're not, look at your mindset, your skill set, and your habits. So routines are habits. So your habits are really what make you. So I would say all successful people that I know have habits.
Yeah.
Including me. But you said routines, same thing to me.
Yeah. Well,
like when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I think about is that I get extremely grateful and excited that I get another day. Now, the reason I say that is because if I just gave everybody in the room $5 million cash, how would you feel? Excited or no?
Of course.
Would you?
So excited.
Seriously.
Might suck your dick.
Hey, Mike,
But the
damn,
money,
you're expensive.
I know, Jesus Christ.
For $5 million, you better lick my ass. But listen, at the end of the day, everybody gets really excited, and if they start to think, how would I actually feel? It's going to be all positive and excitement, and enthusiastic and grateful and all this. But yet, if I said I'll give you $5 million, but you can't wake up tomorrow, you're done, you'd be like, well, of course not. So you value waking up more than $5 million. Is that right? Is that right?
No. I mean, yes, I value waking up more than the million.
You blow it all in
Okay.
one day.
Yeah.
You're done.
Okay,
anything.
so if that's the case, how come you don't act like that every day you wake up? How come you ain't sucking dick every day?
I mean,
she said, "Who said I'm not?
Who says I'm not?"
But you know what I mean.
I am in adult entertainment.
People need to get excited. People need to get excited in the morning. So
Sometimes
every morning,
sometimes I like pussy, you know.
Me too.
Is that vagine or is that a new word for gene?
Every time I wake up, I train myself to just get like a little bit. I say the word grateful. So that's a habit. That's a daily routine, and it's not something that it's fake because no one's around watching me. I'm not being like, watch how grateful I am. I just wake up and I just start to smile, and then that shifts the perspective just a little bit to where now it's not something I have to do. It's something I get to do, and I don't need glitter shooting out of a unicorn's asshole for it to be a good day. I think every day is a good day. The question is how good will it get? Now, that's habit and routine number one. Then I'll focus on my health because my whole family's kind of fat, and I'd be real fat if I allowed it. So I just make sure I elevate the heart rate by about 30 minutes, 40 minutes every day. Work out, do something, at least every day.
Do you go to Lifetime Green Valley?
Sometimes.
Okay, I think I've seen you there before.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Too many autograph seekers there.
You just blow his spot.
Yeah, I know.
Blowing up his spots.
Hey, I was gonna say now. I know this is a lot of people's opinions, but how do you feel about this Andrew Tate thing?
What about it?
I mean, it was.
I think with him being away, we know who the top motherfucking G is now.
Ooh, who's that?
That's me.
Yep, I heard.
No,
him
I think Andrew is a brilliant marketer.
Yeah.
Like what he pulled is smart. How he, rigged the algorithm. But now they're saying human trafficking. Well, if their government is anything like our government, you can't necessarily trust them. So, what does human trafficking mean? Because when you think human trafficking, you're thinking poor little kids or girls all abused and handcuffed
Shipping
and
containers.
shipping containers and hungry and
From
shitting,
Wayfair.
shitting on each other and like, oh, poor people, they can't, Human trafficking could be defined as, hey, I had you travel across the border to suck his dick, which he's done. Right, he's admitted that.
Right.
So maybe like that's what they're saying. Human trafficking.
Just as a broad term.
They're just making it dramatic.
Yeah.
Like one time, I told someone, "Go fuck yourself," and they sued the company that I worked for at the time, and the suit was sexual harassment. And I'm like, sexual harassment? You make me sound like a fucking pervert. You make me sound like I was trying to get some pussy or something. Like all fucking perverted and shit.
Yeah.
And all I said was, "Go fuck yourself" or something. But they called it sexual harassment. So if you looked, we were getting sued for sexual harassment. Now, if you heard I got sued for sexual harassment, would you think I said go fuck yourself, or would you think I was getting pervy?
I would probably think you were pervy.
Now you have to say pervy.
You have to do it. Yeah.
Exactly.
The finger
It's a lot
flicker.
Exactly. Pervy. Like, come here. Let me tell you something. You want a promotion?
Yeah.
You want a promotion? Get in here. But that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't know, because if he's human trafficking like it sounds, well then fuck the dude. Like I don't think he's doing that. If he is, he's an idiot.
I don't.
But
believe
I am thinking that he's dealing with prostitution. He's dealing with webcam girls.
100%.
He's crooked, meaning he's not following the law in everything he does. So I think they might try to get him like with human trafficking, so the whole world hates him and it can stick, and maybe there's a huge penalty for that. But I'll bet you, and it could be a PR stunt too.
Yeah, because
it was a weird
see
arrest.
They had the door open.
arrest.
Yeah, and it was
then he
obvious.
wasn't handcuffed, and it's like, what kind of...
Listen, he's smart enough to say, look, let's pretend you arrest me. I'll go away
Right.
for 30 days. I won't say shit. The whole world will get riled up. It'll be the
Right.
talk of the town. I'll be more famous than ever. And then I'll come out and it'll show that I killed the Matrix. And then everyone will want to join up for Hustlers University.
And then he'll fight Jake Paul.
I had him coming on my podcast, and then this happened.
Would you still have him on your podcast?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
More
don't?
now.
The thing I don't understand about trafficking is a lot of these girls that are in these houses or that are allowing it. They call it trafficking, but the girls are basically willingly doing it.
Yeah.
So it's the term that the police put on males.
Yeah.
But
Because maybe like they wanted to make money, and then they got caught in a situation, and they didn't want to like have their parents think anything. So they're like, oh, Andrew made me. Oh,
Yeah.
that's trafficking. That's technically trafficking. When in reality, no, the girl was there on her own.
She was there
Right.
Yes.
But I don't like how he like talks down on girls who might be in
I don't
the
either.
sex industry when it's like, hey, you're a hypocrite. Your wealth came from girls
Yeah,
on
I
the
don't-
sex
I don't-
industry.
I agree. The only thing I don't like is his opinion on harshly talking about women, but I think it's just he's doing that for drama.
I think so too.
I don't think he really thinks that.
I don't think
In
so.
fact,
either.
I know a guy that knows him personally, and that guy said, like, Andrew's one of the nicest fucking people out there. Like, he's generous. He's always being nice. There's hidden footage of him talking to girls on yachts. He's very respectful. So I think it's just a show. I don't really think he thinks like that. Like, I forget what he said, but it's kind of harsh. Like, women are stupid. Women are weak. If you're on Only Cam Girls, it's my money because that's mine. Like, come on, dude. That's stupid.
Yeah.
But I would appreciate a little bit of it if I could.
For sure. Do you believe that marriage is a business?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I had some listeners hit me some questions, and they just said, "Do you agree with that?"
Well, how do you think
What's
it's
your
not
thoughts?
a business? Because if like
It's not a business.
or
why would you think it
contract.
is?
well, if
Well, you got to
say
ask the
I
right
get
question.
married, if I get married and then I don't like you and I need to leave you, I got to pay for a divorce.
No, we got to pay for the
Well,
divorce.
well,
Listen, all you have to do when you get married is don't turn in the certificate.
okay, keep talking.
Well, if you don't turn in the certificate, you didn't really get married.
So then
Had the ceremony and everything.
It
The
was
ceremony doesn't matter. It's
it
the
was
paperwork.
ceremony.
It was just ceremonial. But
Yeah.
when you submit the
marriage
license, when you're
license.
done, then it gets registered. And then when you get divorced, you have to go through court and get the state involved.
So if I did that without putting the license in, if I wanted to dip, I could just dip.
You bail. You're not really married.
In Detroit,
But it's not a business. But I mean, how are you meaning that? Like, marriage is a
somebody
business.
wrote it to
Technically,
me.
you got licenses. You got divorces. It's a business.
Assets.
But I mean, like,
Are you talking about like the relationship side of it? Is like a business? Or I mean, like
the idea
Yeah.
of marriage is not a business. It shouldn't be a business. Like, I shouldn't marry somebody to get something.
Yeah, well, this follow-up question, somebody, right, the same person.
Is this live or something?
No.
So how are you getting them?
I've over the past week, I was like, I
Put
have
a
this
little
guy
post.
coming on my show,
Oh, I
and
gotcha.
give me some questions. And so this was a woman, and she said 50-50 relationships are becoming really popular. Men are expecting women to go to work, cook, clean, and take care of the kids, pay half the bills,
No.
and still be submissive. As a man that is a provider, how do you feel about 50-50 relationships? I mean, I kind of feel like that's a thing of the past. I mean,
I don't know what a 50-50 relationship is.
I think what they're meaning is like a woman like splitting bills
No,
with you.
I mean,
no,
that's a big
hell
difference.
no.
That's like, I already know your thing on splitting because I saw a thing. When
Well, you don't
said,
split bills.
You don't
That's
split-
for damn sure.
And if you do, he will not go out to lunch with you again. I don't split bills. I've never
Oh,
split a
No,
bill.
Bills.
there's no such thing as splitting a bill with me. Like, I
me
pay the
neither.
bill, or I don't pay the bill. But if we were out to lunch and y'all wanted to split, I'd be like, I got it. And we're like, really? Really? Thank you. and then I just realized I'm out with the wrong people. So
No, you said that, and that resonated with me because I'm like, my entire life, I pay every bill every single time. Guys, girls, doesn't matter who it is. And I said I just like it, and it actually makes me feel awkward when somebody else actually pays for mine.
a little bit me too, because then I won't order like I want to. So when I know I'm paying the bill, I'll be like fucking 6 of those, 9 of those, 12 of those, and if you're paying the bill, I'll be like, I'll just have the salad.
I was just like a girl.
Yeah, like I don't want to whack his fucking bill.
Yeah.
But it's really stupid when someone says, "Okay, what'd you have? Who had the salad?
Yeah, that's
Was that you?" Well, that's $9 just right there.
That's
And
a red flag.
and
for
I didn't
women,
have
by
an
the way.
iced tea. Where's that? Oh, that's yours. Okay.
I always say when I would go to these nightclubs, I would get some of these bills, and I'd always say, "Who the fuck ordered gratuity? What's that?" Because it'd be $2-3 grand, and I was like, "Who ordered gratuity?" Like,
that's how they get you.
then I realized they just give it to you no matter what.
Every time they do that to me, I just sign it and say, "You fucked yourself."
Ooh.
'Cause I would have given you more.
Oh, that's a good man. I don't do that kind of bullshit anymore, but that's a great.
Well, I like to tip big because I appreciate them being there to serve me. I was in Mexico one time trying to get breakfast. Dude, nothing's open in Mexico.
In the morning?
For breakfast. Nothing. I'm talking about real Mexico, not touristy Mexico. Dude, nothing's open. And then, like, you know, I finally went to a restaurant that someone was there and they were willing to serve. And I'm like, thank you. And I just realized, like, you know, you should be grateful they're willing to freaking bring your food and cook it and shit.
Do you ever see, though, out here, you know, something that, you know, kind of is crazy to me is, you know, you go in these nightclubs and coming from Detroit, you know, like, you know, I might have thought in Detroit I was a mega baller. I come out here to Vegas and I'm definitely not a mega baller to what I've seen. But, you know, you can hand a girl, you know, at like an excess of $10,000, $15,000 tip and they don't even bat an eye. You know,
it's normal.
And to me, I'm just like, I'd rather take 1,000 of that and just give it to the lady at Denny's and like think that it changed her life for a little short period of time. So it's kind of like discouraging that when you see a waitress and you're doing that and it's just like, it's just the way it is.
Well, normally what I will do for waitresses or waiters, I will say, how much you want me to tip you? And every time they'll be like, whatever you think. And then I'll say, no, like, tell me how much you want. And they'll be like, and they never say very much, which is crazy. Like the other day, we just did it. You ever heard of, he's on Instagram, at Funny Marco? You know, at Funny Marco?
No.
Look him up, at Funny Marco.
I'm surprised she doesn't. She's the queen.
Yeah, he's
of
funny.
it.
He's got like 4 million followers.
Wow.
He's funny, dude. But anyway, he wanted to be on my podcast, so he calls me out of the blue and like freaking, I'm like, oh, dude, I know who you are. You're funny as shit. I said, come on, get on my podcast. So we went to eat, and I told them the same thing, and the waitress, sure enough, brought the check. And I said, what do you want? She's like, whatever you want it to be. And I said, well, what do you want it to be? And she said, 100.
This guy?
Is it at
Funny Marco?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said,
Boozy.
how much you want? And she said, 100.
What?
Yeah, and I said, okay. And then the guy goes, oh, girl, you fucked up. He'd have gave you any amount you asked for. And then I felt bad for her, so I gave her 500. But
yeah,
you know, she should have. Like, if someone asked me how much you want, I'd be like, shit, how much I want? Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
Like 10 G's, bitch. I just fed you.
Yeah, I got a great story.
I'd say give me 10 G's and I'll get the bill.
Dana White actually came into Excess one day, and he was with one of the Black Eyed Peas, and
This says Funny Marco.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That's it.
Dana White came in, and he had one drink with one of the Black Eyed Peas, and he asked the waitress. He said, "What's the most expensive tip you ever got?" And she had to think about it for a minute, and she said 30,000. So he wrote her 31, and they almost fired her. Because they're like, why the fuck didn't you say 100,000? Like, you're retarded. Like, the management was really pissed that he did that. But I was like,
did they take a cut? Why did they care?
Or did she tell the truth?
Of course,
Yeah,
they take
like
care.
what
she-
They-
yeah,
of course
I mean,
they take a cut.
It doesn't matter if you fire someone for telling the truth, then you're a shitball.
yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, that would be.
They should educate her, like, hey, next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, go harder.
Yeah.
Go harder.
And these type of guys come in.
But there's no such thing as 50-50 relationships. In my world, like if I'm with you, I'm paying for everything. I'm old fashioned. That's just what I'm supposed to do.
What state do you come
Now,
from?
if the chick's richer than a foot up a bull's ass, she can buy me expensive shit, and I'll take it. Like, you know, here, honey, here's a Ferrari. I'd be like, oh, thanks, girl. What's up?
You want to go to lunch?
Yeah, but when it comes to dinners and shit, she will never pay for a dinner. She won't pay for the house. She won't pay for the cars. She won't pay for the trip. She won't pay for shit. The only thing she can pay for is gifts for me, and they better be fucking good.
At that point, oh yeah.
That's right.
And I think if you have a good girl, and I've said this got me a lot of female followers, by the way. If you have a good girl and she's out spending your income, you need to make more money. It's not her problem. It's your problem. You need to make more.
Okay.
Now,
I believe in that.
Well,
Don't
some
like that
people didn't like that, and I'm like, listen, dude, listen. I said, good girl. First of all, a good girl will not outspend your income intentionally, right? So if you have a good girl and she's outspending your income, it's because you're not making enough, bro.
All right.
A good girl wouldn't do it. You got to go out and make more. And again, like, women shouldn't have budgets. Like, you know, if you got it, she got it.
Talk
You know what I
about it. Talk about
That's
it.
what I'm saying. Yeah. Now you know why I got 7 kids.
Say that at dinner and you're good to go.
Girls like when I talk.
Well, your wife must be rolling then.
She's happy.
Yes.
Actually, you know, they get to a point where eventually they forget how lucky they are. And then I got a reminder.
No, that is true. Somebody said, would you invest in crypto right now?
Absolutely.
And then they said, in which one? Which one?
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. So stick with the
Yeah,
OG of.
Well, do you know why?
No.
All the other ones, how do you buy them?
Ethereum?
Like
or
Ethereum
whatever?
and Ethereum and
Bitcoin.
With Bitcoin, yeah.
Bitcoin.
Oh.
So all those motherfuckers want Bitcoin. Like, I'll just take.
Why do you want me to give you Bitcoin for your coin?
Why?
Because I had Bitcoin. Someone gave me 100 and some Bitcoin at one point when they were $600 each, and I'm like, okay, so now people are like, well, you should do this coin and you should do that coin, and I'm like, well, how do I get that coin? They're like, you give me your Bitcoin, and I'm like, what the fuck you want my Bitcoin?
Why would I do
for?
that? Yeah.
If you got all those and that's what I should have, why are you trying to get my Bitcoin in exchange for those? They're like, well, that's just how you get them. I'm like,
Nope.
I'm sticking with Bitcoin.
Yeah. No, we
So
saw
I think Bitcoin will eventually be, is what they say, what they've always said, $1 million a coin, easy.
So it will have a comeback again.
Again, unless the government, you know, which could be the case, you know, decides to make it straight up illegal, and then it probably won't be worth $1 million a coin, but it'll definitely be worth what it is now or better.
You're not going to lose on it.
Well, because if the government gets shitty like that, you know, the Bitcoin is the one, you know, that's decentralized.
So out of all the people that I know on Bitcoin, and I mean, I was on there and I actually pulled out liquid money. And so most of my friends would be like, yo, I have 4 million, I have 6 million. I'm like, okay, did you pull anything out? Did you buy anything? Like, what are you doing? Or what are you waiting for? Because to me, it felt a little bit like gambling. It was giving me anxiety. But nobody went, you know, when it came and got swept away, nobody had shit. I have one friend who said I bought a house in Costa Rica and paid cash for a Range Rover, and then I lost my other 3 million. So I'm like,
why'd they lose
in
it?
power.
like
to
meaning like
him.
when it came and it just, yeah, he actually passed away. But it, you know, when it came and swept everybody's money, me and Domo here, we met a guy one time.
Yeah, but it didn't sweep everybody's money.
Well, like the people who I guess were
Was it
Bitcoin
a
rich.
What do you mean? It's still $17,000, $18,000 each.
You mean when they bought in when it was
600.
high?
Yeah.
These people that bought in when it was peaking.
Is that what?
Yeah, see?
So it is going up then.
It's going to go back up eventually, but it goes up and it goes down. Why? Because it goes up. People are like, now it's a better time to get the fuck out. And then it goes down because everyone sold it. And then you know, it just keeps going doing this. But eventually it's going to grow up.
No, I believe that. We met a guy one time. He owned a strip club out here. He owned a restaurant at Panorama Tower, and he did exotic car rental. And we went in there, and we were gonna do an event at his thing. And he's like, "I make more money with this place empty."
Yeah, he said
he
we're
sells
better
members.
closed than
We're better closed than open. And I was like, "That's the fucking craziest thing any business owner's ever said to me." And Bitcoin took a huge dip, and he fucking lost everything. He lost the business, his cars, the restaurant. And I was like, you didn't take nothing out? Like nothing for yourself?
Well, listen, you just hold it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, like let's say I have 1 million Bitcoin and they're worth $1 billion. And then the next day Bitcoin are worth $1. How much do I have?
you just lost me on that one.
$1 million.
That's right. I still, number one, have 1 million. So did I lose $1 billion?
No.
Not unless I sell the Bitcoin for the billion or the million. Because if I still have them, I haven't lost it. I have to wait until it gets back where it's supposed to go. Which is why when your stock market starts to crash, you buy more of it. Cost dollar averaging.
Do you look at it at all like it's gambling? Like to me, I started
100%.
I started to feel like I was losing sleep and shit because I was waking up like to fucking like just look at these stocks and all this shit, and I was like, this is driving me nuts.
I have a weird thing about money. I just know there's more of it, so I'm not too worried about much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do get like, but you know, there's more of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was invested. One of the things that I actually made a shitload on was a company called Neo. It was those Chinese electric cars. But
I invested in that.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
Yeah, and I made money.
Yeah. I made real
Yeah.
good money on Neo, and one of my friends, the guy Jonathan Davis. So at one point when I pulled out, a couple mils, I pulled out of there. He was at $4.5 million, and I said, why don't you take some out? Like, what are you waiting for? And he's like, I don't need to. He's like, and you keep it in X amount of time. You don't
What
get
happened
tagged.
to it?
Well, I just talked to him the other day, and he said I'm at 1.5 million. And I said,
it dropped?
So it dropped on him.
But it'll go back up.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. I mean, I guess he doesn't. I mean, no, I don't need to. It's not a matter of I couldn't wait, but I just felt like, when it's up like that, take some out at least.
Well, sure.
It
would be wise.
I
took some Bitcoin out. When I got it at 600, I was selling it at 9,000, 10,000, 12,000, 14,000, 16.
Were you in right from the rip when this was all?
No, I've never bought a Bitcoin. They're given to me.
Oh.
Well, so you're just playing with it.
Well, yeah, I mean, like somebody owed me $85,000 and they gave me Bitcoin when it was 600 each. So do the math. I forget. It was like 120 or something. Yeah. Not really, like 120.
But when it spiked.
But it was only $600, so it was still $85,000, whatever it was. And then it started going up. And so I waited for a while, and then it was starting to get here. I'm like, damn, I better sell this. What if it goes down? Because everyone's like, it's going to go down, dude. You're stupid. Right. So I was taking some off the table, which again, I'm not upset about it because people are like, oh, you're stupid. You could have been a zillionaire. Well, number one, I still have a bunch. And number two, life ain't over, right? We're still good to go. I'm still.
A lot of these platforms like OnlyFans or even webcamming platforms, they are starting to say that they're accepting Bitcoin. But for us, it's a little weird for us to be like, okay, $20 or so, I'll show you some titties. But like, how do I put a price of Bitcoin onto that? Because it's not like I can go and put that money in my bank right away.
Well, it's just a fraction of a Bitcoin, and yes, you can. You can liquidate Bitcoin very simply.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people do that. I don't understand all the.
I'm not an expert on that, but how can
you
we get a little juice on that?
You can liquidate Bitcoin anytime you want. Mm-hmm. Like if I have $1 billion in Bitcoin, I could press some buttons and liquidate all of it or some of it
into my mind. Is that something smart though to do? Like right away, or should you just have it?
If you need the money, but like if you don't need the money,
if you don't need the money,
I'd leave it there. But you could also turn it into other coins that are a little more stable. Like there's a coin called stable coin, which is actually
stable coin,
more stable.
It feels like a setup.
And then there's I think a BitDollars or BitCash or I forget. I'm not a big crypto guy.
Yeah.
I could call my buddy who's huge crypto guy. He makes money every single day in crypto, big money, all the dumb coins that you've never heard of and shit.
Just trading.
Mm-hmm. And he goes in and he gets it for, fractions of a penny and sells it for a penny and makes shit tons of money. Mm-hmm. Like he's got hundreds of millions of dollars. He showed me one time that his trading account, and it was 190 million in that account, and I'm like, dude, are you shitting me? He goes, oh yeah, bro, that's just one of my accounts.
It's from getting up early and getting on the computer.
But he's doing it right now. I mean, every day. So when people say, oh, it's going down, dude, when it goes down, you can make huge money.
Man, what would you invest in right now? Is there anything that you would recommend? Like, say somebody doesn't invest.
On your risk tolerance.
Risk tolerance.
Yeah, like what's your risk tolerance?
So what if it was somebody that hasn't really ever invested in anything? Like what if one of your kids that hadn't invested in anything was like, Dad, I want to invest in something. What would you tell them?
Number one, I'd say invest in yourself.
Yeah.
That's 100.
Learn new skill sets. Get develop yourself. Buy some tits. No, just
I mean,
whatever
they
you
do help.
Just invest in yourself is what I'd say. Now, if they're talking about actual investing, there's real estate. Nobody's ever really went broke selling real estate.
Real estate's been my biggest.
Buying it. And then there's tax liens. You ever heard of those?
No.
Tax liens are no brainer. That's easy shit. You go in basically to a county and there's thousands of people that cannot pay their taxes on their property. So you pay the county for them. They have 1 year to pay you back plus 25%. If they don't pay you back plus 25%, whoever has a lien on that property has the option to pay you back plus 25%. And if nobody pays you back plus 25%, you get the property free and clear.
What?
And and it's
shit,
just
what?
It's just the
Heard about that a
the
lot.
back
I just
taxes,
never-
right?
You just pay their back taxes.
Yeah,
So
and it's usually like
but
insane.
it's the property's always more valuable than the taxes.
oh yeah.
So if I walk in and pay a property's taxes at $1 million, that property's worth a lot.
Yeah.
But there's usually not $1 million tax liens. Believe it or not, they're 3,000,
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
4,000,
3 to
9,000.
10,000.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, they're like small, but you just do a whole bunch of them
Yeah.
because you're guaranteed your money plus
Plus
25%, which is a good return,
Yeah. Or
or you get the property.
some
And,
right.
I'm hoping people don't pay.
Of
And
course.
have you
yeah,
done that and got the
Sure.
property?
No, never.
Oh.
I've never gotten property yet.
Oh, okay.
But I just started doing it. The guy that's like a guru at it that I know that turned me on to it, he says he's gotten the property about 7% of the time. So every 100 liens that you buy, 7 of them will become yours.
What's the time frame that they have to pay you?
1 year.
1 year.
Oh wow, that's quick.
Now, do people do that? I mean, do most of those come from areas that would be considered like the hood, or
And by the way, no, all over. Believe
all
it or
over?
not. And it's not you're not making the deal with the person.
Right.
The person never pays you. The person pays the county.
Mm-hmm.
The county pays you. So believe it or not, you have a contract with the county, which is guaranteed by law. Like, in other words, there is no way out of that contract. The county themselves are the ones that pay you. Now, because basically what they do is they tell the person, they say, give me the money. They don't give you the money. They go to the bank who owns the house technically, and they say, you better give them the money. They don't give them the money. That county can supersede the first lien and take that property, give it to that person, and the bank can fuck off. And you get a free and clear property.
For
$5,000. I do tax liens,
Interesting.
storage facilities, anything basically that produces cash flow. So like if you have $100,000 and you give it to this and you don't have monthly revenue coming from it, I wouldn't do it. You want cash flow. Mm-hmm. Cash flow is everything. So you keep doing it, especially when you're young, you keep doing it, then you get older, and pretty soon you have $100,000 a month coming in just from your property, your assets, your storage, your whatever it is.
It's all passive.
When you say storage,
and-
what do you
and-
mean by storage?
Like storage facilities.
Oh, like owning the facility.
Like go buy the you can
Yeah.
buy those storage
Yeah.
places.
Whoa.
Go buy those.
Okay.
All they are is fucking empty
Little
garages
boxes,
that you pay monthly for.
Yeah.
I know someone that goes into a strip mall somewhere, rents out a little tiny fucking slot, usually 700 square feet, puts little slots all over the walls, P.O. boxes, rents them out for $29 a month, and they fucking rent.
What the fuck?
So now they're
Oh my
collecting
God.
they're collecting $40,000 a month in P.O. box rental, and it's a $2,800 fucking lease.
Oh my god,
And dude, they sell out.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And what do you think about people that, something I always say, my dad told me this with the storage unit thing. Everybody puts their shit in there, and they're so emotional about it. My dad's like, if you've never went and opened that in like 4 years, why don't you just fucking get rid of everything in there? And it's
Dude,
like,
I've got storage facilities right now, and I told my wife when we put shit in there, I said, babe, all we're gonna do is pay to keep shit we don't want.
Yeah.
that's what it is.
And she's like, no, I'm gonna come back in 2 months, and we're gonna do
Hey,
this. And dude, we've never been back. It's been about 5 years.
Look,
and
we're,
I've
we're
spent more
planning
money.
on going to the Goodwill and just dropping some of this off.
Well, I've spent more money storing shit we don't want,
That's a fact.
and it's ridiculous.
It's
And
very
you got
ridiculous.
and you got to pay it because you don't want bad credit. So like you pay that fucking shit. I was gonna just not pay it, and then I did.
It's like keep the shit.
Yeah, you can have it, dude. I fucking went over there like I think a year ago to see what was in there, and I'm like, "The fuck is this?"
You didn't
Like,
remember you had it?
It's old sweaters and shit, like stupid shit. Furniture we don't want, fucking bassinets from just stupid shit.
Do you believe in that storage war stuff? Like I see it, but then part of me thinks like they clip the lock off and go through it before they show somebody. I feel like the place that if you own the storage unit
They're not allowed to.
They're not allowed
but
to.
I bet you they do.
But I feel like
if I owned it, I would.
Yeah, take care of me on the side.
Dude, if I owned it, I'd go through every bit of it.
Yeah,
and when it would come auction time, I'd be winking at the right people. That's the one you want right there, dog.
Yeah, no, I believe that. Yeah, I did something really interesting when the last time I moved. I had a garage that was a storage unit, and I said, you know what? I said, I'm gonna fucking throw all this shit away, and then I realized they make you pay to throw it away. It cost me like fucking $3,000.
Yeah.
What do you mean that the storage place made you?
No, I had it in my garage, and I said I was like I told her like because I got emotional about it.
Yeah, 1-800-JUNK.
Yeah, I called them, and they're moving like, shit. They're like it's gonna be $3,000, and I'm like, to get rid of all this bullshit I don't want, and they're like, yeah, and I was like, fuck.
You should say, fuck you, throw it away.
Keep it.
They do keep it. I think they take it.
What really happened with that? This dude's phone died, and he takes my phone, and for the next fucking week, I'm getting calls like, hey, so you know that shit thrown away, and like 2 of them were from like massage parlors.
What?
I got a fucking call
Oh.
in class that said like, it was like
He had. I used his phone.
You had to do that.
No, I used his phone when he was doing something.
Oh, I thought you were talking about someone random.
I thought you were.
Yeah, no. So I'm for the next week, I'm getting calls from like rando fucking dudes with trucks, like, hey, you still need that shit all the way. And then, one of them was like something Oriental massage parlor.
Hey, that one wasn't supposed to be on there, but. Yeah, no, it's crazy how people hold on to stuff like that, but I think I understand it, but not really. And now I understand why storage units do so well, though. That's it.
So anything with cash flow,
yeah,
that I would invest in.
Yeah,
just depends on your risk tolerance, though. Those are all very low risk.
You believe cars are horrible investments?
Depends on which one.
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of like Toro and some exotic car rental. And like I said, I don't know. I mean, it feels like you're making money.
Can you Turo mine?
Yeah.
Probably.
I wonder what I could get for it.
What
Did you have a Range Rover?
Cullinan.
A what?
A what?
No, Bentley.
It's Rolls Royce.
Was there? Oh, that's what? When you pulled up, I thought that's what that was, but I was like,
but it goes on based on the value. So when the value is very high, they have to put a deposit down, or they have to also be like, what is it, 27
no,
or
you
30?
have to be over 30. You probably have to be over 45 for that one. I don't know on Toro, but generally people don't go on Toro to get cars like that. You'd have to go through an exotic car rental.
I don't think it's that
maybe a wrapper.
I don't think they don't go on there for it. I just don't think there's that. There, like who really?
Do you think you'd be emotional about it? Like, I started.
No. What if they smoke weed in there? You don't care as long as it's making money.
Well, I mean, I'd prefer you didn't. But
well, you could.
But if it's a $500 charge for smoking, like,
weed don't smell that bad.
Yeah. Well, no, I told people. I said, I had a few cars, and then I was like, and they're like, I can't believe you let people drive your cars, and I'm like, well, now I have 14 cars I really like versus the 3 that I had. But you're going to get the rim rash. People are going to hit curbs. Like,
yeah, but they're just cars, man.
That's what I said. I'm like, I said it's like a hotel room. It wouldn't be there if you didn't get a hotel room and do weird shit in there. And, it had never been paid
What do
for.
you do in there?
I've never heard of a rental car compared to a hotel room.
Yeah,
but.
you rent it, go around Vegas.
You ever look at these hotels? Sometimes I look at them, and whoever I'm driving with, I'll be like, dude, I'll bet you anything. Somebody right now is getting railed in one of those.
Fuck yeah.
At least a few.
They're getting railed or they're doing a line.
Yeah, they're doing a rails. One or the other.
Rails in all shapes and sizes.
Oh man! Well, give them your website, your contact info for your videos, and you got a book out now too, right?
I do.
How long has that been out?
I don't know.
It's been a while.
Did you bring us a copy?
Yeah.
No.
Did you
to hang on the wall next to the dildo?
What
No.
the hell? We'll put it right there.
You know
we
what's
got a
funny
spot.
is
We
when
got a spot for it.
when I get these guests that come into our studios over on Southern Highlands, we put dildos in their briefcase in their bags to go home with because we know they're flying.
The airport?
Yeah, they just fly in, fly out. So we used to stick big old dildos in their bag, and then they'd fucking call us when they got home. It was very funny. Then they would catch us, right? So
They would catch you putting a dildo in
well, no, like they wouldn't catch us. I mean, like in other words, they'd get all the way home, and security or nobody found it.
And
we're like waiting for a phone call, but they never called. And I'm like waiting and waiting, like
pissed off, like fuck.
And I'm thinking like,
did they think it was theirs,
or they just didn't find it. So finally, they're like, they didn't find it. So then we started strapping a bottle to the dildo, so the airport, the airport would pull
just
it out,
to make sure.
Yeah, and then they'd be like, "Oh, you motherfucker!" And so the very last time this dude, his name's Alan, he came up, and we used to screw with him with dildos all the time. They had to be big ones too, but
they had to be big ones.
But we'd rewrote his, because he would throw it away. He would know we did it, and he'd search and he'd find it, and he'd throw it away, and he'd always tell us, "Yeah, I fucking threw it away right before I went through security." So the last one, I wrote his real name, address, and phone number in a Sharpie.
On the dildo?
On the dildo.
Oh my God.
And so he pulled it out to throw it away, and he's like, "Fuck," because it says, "If found, please ship." And I'm like, "So what'd you do?" He goes, "Dude, I had to bring it with me." And I'm like, so "Then what?" He goes, "Dude, then I had to take it home, and I had to fucking chop it up in a fucking million pieces." Like, dude, you fucking made me chop up a dildo in a million pieces. I'm gonna get you for that.
Oh my God.
Well, you can always have some branded Bradley dildos.
You said Leia.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Because of him.
I've been caught. Yeah,
Hey, but nobody wants a dick that big.
especially in the clouds.
Tell the truth.
No, not like your everyday dick.
Yeah,
that's
but not like that.
Well,
big.
That's like
not like that big.
That's like a holiday dick.
We had a
You don't want that shit.
we had a female
Ever.
we had a female on here.
Actually,
Yeah,
Do
so,
ya?
you can do it.
well, this is what I was gonna tell you. So we had a girl a couple weeks ago. Shout out to Brenda McKenna, but she had said that there was a guy named Dredd who had the biggest dick in porn, and so she's like, I did it, and so then I'm like, but then where do you go from there? Like, once
Back down to the littlest.
Start from scratch.
Back down to a micro penis.
Yeah, like I'm like it from
It's
there
like you-
forward.
it's like
It's not
you-
gonna ever get better than that. I
Yeah,
guess.
but it's like you killed the boss, you start over.
Game Plus.
Whoa. You were talking about video games.
That's crazy. Where
But
can
I
they?
mean, but I knew a guy once. His name was Mike Slay, believe it or not.
Like Slay.
And
That's a.
and his
was he a
dick was
porn guy?
his dick was about that big actually, but we were in like 6th grade, 7th grade,
Okay.
and his dick was that big. I'm not fucking exaggerating. Normally I'm explaining it. It's like a bottle, but a little bit longer. It's about like the size of that one right there. And he had these big old fucking balls too. He was the first one that had hair. None of us had hair. He had hair growing. Big old fucking monster dick like that. And he started, he'd swing it around because we have to take showers back in school when we go swimming. So everybody would see everybody's shit. And old Mike Slay, once we got in high school and we started using them, because we weren't using them in the 6th grade, but once we started using them, dude, there was no girl in high school that would have let him do her. Meanwhile, I was doing them all.
Take that,
You said-
bitch.
Yeah, and he said,
over here.
dude, it's fun to show, but they won't let you do it. And I witnessed it one time because this girl at a party started going in the bedroom with him, and we're like, oh my God, she's going in there.
I'm not walking weird.
Yeah, and
then you see her walk
within
out.
10 minutes, she fucking came out there and she goes, fuck no. I go, what? And they're like, fuck no, he ain't putting that in me. It's huge.
Yeah,
And that's when I started feeling better. Like, you don't want a monster dick because I didn't get one. I got a good sized dick, right? That's all you want, really. Just a good sized dick. Nobody wants a monster dick. You're supposed to say, yeah, that's right.
She's in the adult industry.
Yes.
Well, I mean, maybe for publicity.
we just fuck monster dicks for sport,
Well, again, I mean, it seems like
for the entertainment.
it seems like in porn, most of them are just good sized dicks. I don't see big old dicks like that every day in porn.
I
So
never
I'm not-
did. I actually looked the guy Dredd up after this girl said she did anal with him, and she said it went in my anal better than it did in my vagina.
Is this guy? He was at AVN.
Dredd, yeah.
Red.
Is it the guy in the memes Barry?
No.
That guy,
Oh, yeah.
Look at that guy right there.
Yeah, right there, the
That
Omegas.
guy.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Like again, that guy's dick
Rest
looks
in
like that.
power.
Hey,
Rest in power.
You know his family?
What's that?
He passed
His-
away.
He did?
Yes.
How come?
He passed
He
away.
committed
Big dick.
suicide. I
did?
believe.
Yeah.
I believe,
I
yeah.
don't know how he
What
passed
a waste
away.
of dick.
Yeah. But his family was trying to sue everybody because they were making money selling stickers, T-shirts, and they weren't in on it.
Damn.
I don't know. It's kind of a
It'd
crazy.
be weird if you just like look somewhere and your son's just sitting there with his dick out.
I always tell people,
Actually,
like, how do you
I
get
did
some?
get the meme with the dick out, and then it started to turn into the really teeny, smaller ones.
People always ask, how did I get all the ladies? And I'd say, you just, when you have sex, you just make them feel it behind the tits.
Oh,
Never heard that one. I
trying-
got to think about that
You
one.
get-
for a
you-
minute.
trying to put
you-
that together.
You get it way up in there.
ah.
I got a technique called
Touch the heart.
I got a technique called long cocking.
Sounds like an Olympic sport.
If you long cock them, they love you.
That's definitely not that pool thing you were talking about. What is that? You said when
The
you beat
guppies?
the guppies. Yeah.
Soaking. Long soak 'em.
You just got to be willing to be freaky.
Super
you know?
soaker.
Yeah.
Like people say, you lick ass. I like, dude, show me a guy who don't eat ass, and I'll show you a guy whose woman I can steal.
Get it.
Whoa.
That's a joke. That's the joke.
Whoa.
I don't steal women. You got to stay. That's one thing I don't do. Like if someone's married or anything like that, like I'd stay away from them because, like, you could get killed that way.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
I had this one couple one time want me to bang his girl, and I'm like, "What are you gonna do?" And he's like, "Well, he goes like, I'm just." He says, "I'm just gonna watch," and I'm like, "Fuck no, dude. What if you start getting angry?"
you're right.
You might think it's okay right now when she's sitting there like this, but when she's going, you might be like, "Fuck, she doesn't sound like that with me. Fuck this guy."
Hit this dude over the head. With
Yeah.
the
Meanwhile, I'm not even looking at him.
Yeah.
My back's wide open.
Yeah.
No,
that's
apparently my asshole would be what's showing. And he's up there watching. I don't think so.
But sometimes that's
No.
what they want. They want to get humiliated.
Well, some people say it ain't gay unless your balls touch. I ain't one of them. I don't want no dude watching me rail his chick. Period. Like if you have a boner watching me fuck, well then it better be on a video. Because if you're behind me with a boner, I'm not in the same room.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no, I had a remember
my God.
remember that kid guy I was telling you, this guy from Detroit, craziest friend that I have, and I had this porn star tell me, she goes, "You want to go to a gangbang?" to me. And I never had anybody say that, and I was like I don't think so. I don't think I don't think I want to go. And then my friend was like, I'll fucking go. And I was like, go, bro. That's like a once in a lifetime deal.
See, I would not go.
He left, and then he comes back, and I'm like, what's up? And he goes, what if one of the guys tried to fuck me? And I was like, I don't know.
Well,
I
hey,
never.
signing up for that.
Then you say no.
Yeah, I'm like, I've never been to a gangbang.
But
so
I had a
don't
buddy
know
of
if
mine-
that happens.
I had a buddy of mine lived a couple doors down from me, and he had a friend over, and I knew the friend too, and the friend calls me, "Get over here." I said, "Why?" He goes, "Dude, there's this chick over here. She's drunk, and she's sucking all our dicks." And I said, "What?"
Why are you calling me?
He said, "Get over here." And I go, "Shut the fuck up. I'm not coming over there." "You don't want your dick sucked?" I'm like, "Not by a chick that's sucking everybody's dick." Fucking sicko. So I finally go over there.
So when I got there,
Hey, by the time I got there, this chick, she was huge. She was passed out. She was leaning over this couch like she was, wanting someone to butt fuck her. And and I'm looking, and it's like she's got like something in her ass, and I look, and she's got like blades of grass in her ass. I'm like, what the fuck what are you guys doing to this girl? Like I felt like she was passed out, shit. That she drank a big old thing. She sucked everyone's dick. You want me to wake her up, see if she'll suck your dick? I'm like, fuck no, I don't want her to suck my dick, you sicko.
Hey,
Like, dude, I'm weird that way. I wouldn't join an orgy or any of that.
So, yeah,
I told Sartain that too.
No, this is what I was going to ask you about Sartain. So he said when he was here, he said he looks for girls that wants to do threesomes, And I said, okay, I got it. So sometimes I guess a girl might not be with it, but if she really likes him, then she might do that for a time period. But then I said to him, I said, okay, so you find a girl, she wants to do threesomes. Is it okay if she brings a guy?
Hell
no. Well, he was like, fuck no. But I'm like, but is that kind of like a double standard?
Yes.
Like,
Yes,
and it's just
that's
the way
okay,
it is.
and that's
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Yeah, no, I just didn't
again,
know.
I would, if I were single, because I don't cheat, but if I were single, I would definitely have a threesome or a foursome or a tensome with a chick.
A tense.
Have you ever?
Dude, a tenny, you could be like, let's try it. Like, I might only get to you a couple of you, but listen.
Just women, though.
I think
Only women.
I think they said
As soon as there's another dude in there, I'm out. Like, I don't want to be fucking sword fighting or fucking tag team. People are like, that makes you homophobic. No, it doesn't. I don't like dick. If you got a dick around me that's hard, dude, that's fucking gross. I'm leaving. Well, dude, there's a bunch of chicks here. You know, well, you do them and then let me know when you're done. I ain't doing them with you.
Yeah, we had a shout out to G Minor. We had another radio host out here, and
G Minor.
Hey, but by the way, I don't hold it against people that do.
Yeah,
Do it.
I got buddies of mine. Matter of fact, the dude that said,
What
"Come on,
is,
everyone's sucking everyone's dick." They tag team chicks all the time. Those two.
I've never tag teamed a chick.
They have names of shit. Like, you ever heard of the London Bridge? Where like
No.
apparently she's bent over,
Yeah, high five.
sucking his dick, and you're doing that, and you guys hold hands.
Hold hands.
Yeah, you hold hands above her, and it's called a London Bridge. And I'm like, see, why are you holding hands?
You're touching. Well, you're touching another dude.
Stupid. Like, gross.
Remember
Maybe
the
I'm just
What,
not
you
that
guys play
sexual.
patty cake?
I mean, at that
London
point-
Bridges falling down.
I prefer one at a time, by the way. Like, you know.
Have you ever cheated? I know you said you didn't know, but
Have I ever cheated?
just
yes.
probably
I
when
don't
you're
know.
young.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I cheated in my 20s. I don't cheat anymore.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I stopped that a long time ago.
I cheated before,
Yeah.
but I don't now.
Yeah.
I
think
grew
you-
up.
You grow up. That's what it is. You grow up.
7
Yeah,
kids later.
Well, not only that, but it's easier just to break up with them. It's also
Yeah.
it's also
Right.
nicer.
Yes.
Right.
It's also more ethical. Like, if I really wanted to like be with another person, I would either get permission, which, hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
You don't know if you don't ask.
Right. But I mean, like, if I went to my wife and I said, hey, I really want to, and she said no, I would say, well, I'm going to anyway. So we need to break up. But I wouldn't just do it and then like hide it.
How about the people in high school that would break up and then go do it and then they get back together?
Smart. I was one of them.
I was one of them.
I'd pick
not
a
cheating.
fight. I'd pick a fight for the weekend. Well, fuck you then. But whatever. we grew up. I grew up.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
Sartain was telling me, because he's got all those chicks around him all the time, and he's like, "You're telling me that if one of these chicks would do," and I'm like, "Dude, I swear." So now I sometimes, because I get chicks in my DM, and I'm thinking it's fucking Sartain testing me, because they're fucking hot. There's a couple of hot ones.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're flirting and giggling, and they've never been outright, hey, come bang me. But it seems like if I were to try, I might get some. I don't even respond at all. Why? Because number one, I think it's Michael Sartain. He's tested me because I told him point blank I wouldn't, and a lot of his friends are probably like, "We'll check, we'll see."
We'll
No,
get
I
him one day.
heard you say that on there.
But what's funny is somebody was asking me, you must get a lot of naked pictures, and I'm like, no, I really don't. My wife goes, yes, you do. And I said, what are you talking about? No, I don't. She said, yes, you do.
Oh.
I said, what are you talking about? I've never seen one. She goes, that's because I delete them.
She's the filter. She's the filter.
Oh.
Yeah, so anybody listening, you DM me, I guarantee it. You're also DMing my wife because I don't hide her a password. And hey, if someone DMs me shit, I can't help it.
I don't.
And she's more than welcome to delete it. I wish she wouldn't. I'd like to see it first. I'd like to get a glimpse
I'm not going to respond.
what I could have had.
Have you ever sent somebody a dick pic?
No,
Have you ever been a Chippendale?
no.
Okay.
Did he remind you of one?
Actually.
No, I've never
Could've
been one.
been.
But my buddy was one. He wasn't a Chippendale. He was They were
Down Under.
No, they were called Men of Paradise.
Men of Paradise.
But-
Why is it so familiar?
But I'll tell you, it taught
Never heard that
me how slutty girls are.
How are slutty girls?
Well, they had this place closed to just the women, and then they would open the thing, and then the men could come in at a certain time. But the men's strip show was, going on, and then when it's over, they'd open the curtains and the dudes would come in, and then it's a nightclub. So I was a buddy of one of the dancers, or a couple of them. So I was in the back where the dancers were. And before they opened up the curtains, the dancers would go out after they were done. And, dude, they'd be getting busy on the fucking floor. And then as soon as they're done, in comes the freaking guys and
the boyfriends.
The boyfriends. And I'd be like, God damn, like, why would you do that? They were crazy about it. It was the craziest thing ever. I mean, it's like women go nuts at those places.
Yeah. I went to a Thunder Down Under show, and I was actually surprised.
Dude, it's like, that's why I don't like if my wife said, I want to go to a strip club, I'd be like, fuck you.
Yeah, that's a setup. That's a setup like a motherfucker.
Oh, but do you go to strip clubs for men?
No. For men?
I mean, well, I like a normal strip club.
I haven't been to a strip club in
Gentlemen's
so
club.
long, it's ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just like now a freaking, boring married guy.
Yeah, after meeting Domo here, being in the adult world, she was like, "How are you not into all this shit? You travel
when
the
when
world."
you said a porn star was here, I almost didn't come.
Why?
Because I don't want to explain to my wife why I was on a show with a porn star.
I mean, I'm not my porn star self right now.
Her alter ego.
Character's hanging up.
Your character's hanging up.
I got you.
Yeah.
What's your character's name?
Onyx Muse.
And then her radio name is Domo Monster.
I mean, it's my real name.
But she would
Domo Monster?
Domo, yeah.
Yeah, so she would.
That's your real name?
Mm-hmm.
Domo?
Yeah.
Domo Arigato.
Domo arigato. That's Japanese.
Yeah, but you're not.
I'm Filipino.
You are?
I am.
You don't look.
That's
I
exactly
know.
what I said. when I-
I'm African American.
Oh, really?
Nice to meet you.
But you said you had a normal sized dick.
No, I said a good size.
A good sized dick.
I definitely didn't
He just
say
said it wasn't
normal.
that big.
What's normal, by the way?
Yeah.
Like a 7 or 8, I guess.
That ain't fucking normal. That's a good sized dick.
He said nope.
Hugh,
You can hear Hugh Googling it. I can hear him
What's
Googling
a
it over there all
normal
quick.
sized dick?
I'm gonna say it's.
Okay.
5.16 inches.
What?
Is average.
I got that
Not
beat.
impressed.
Okay.
I got that beat.
That's crazy.
Your wife's a lucky lady.
That's what they say.
Said he's heard that before.
Yeah, she told me, she's like, going around the world, she's like, didn't you have groupies and hoes? And I said, we had kids, and we had like a play area in the back. After our concerts, we'd go back and have to play with our kids.
You guys didn't have like hot nannies or hot
No,
babysitters?
I definitely knew
around
not, I
it.
definitely knew not to ever get a hot nanny. Both of my nannies are in their 50s. But the ones that did show up when I put the ad out, they were like Brazilian 23, 24, and I was like, nope, can't get one of those.
Do you guys know the 11 Club in Miami or something?
Yeah, I've danced there.
Yeah. So 11, I'm
But
big.
it's
I'm
amazing.
into numerology.
You know Gino Lapinto?
Of course I do.
Okay.
Gino was the man.
Yeah.
I just know he's the owner.
One of them.
Yeah, or one of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, I met Gino back he was Empire Ball. He ran Empire Ballroom.
Yep.
He was at the Hustler Club
He's a
the last
Vegas guy, though, right?
Yeah.
Used to be.
He used to be.
Yeah. I heard, actually, I don't know how well you know him. I don't know him that well. He actually brought me in. He was going to be booking talent at the Hustler Club. And he was there one week, and then all of a sudden he was gone. And everybody that was at the Hustler Club is like, this guy came in here, robbed all the money, went out to Miami and opened a club called 11. I was like, sounds like a Vegas story to me. Like,
Sounds like every other
but I don't know. I mean, Gino's always been involved in clubs and different shit. I didn't know why he worked at Hustler Club, but he was working there at the time the last time I met him, he was working there. He wanted me to do talent for them. And then, he just up one day and moved, and boom. I think he's got the hottest little club going out there.
Oh, yeah. I've been
Have
there
you been
once.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
One
So you
time.
do go to strip clubs.
That wasn't a strip club.
He can call it a nightclub.
It's a nightclub.
It doesn't
strip
count.
Club.
Well, that
You
is
didn't go to the back.
well. Number one, it was a long time, and it was a nightclub / strip club, which was actually a pretty good idea.
It's genius.
Yeah.
But I didn't participate. I just
As you can. Yeah.
I just visually appreciated. You know, girls walking by everywhere looking like old girl. They had outfits on. I'm like, yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, good. But it was a nice club.
Yeah, I've actually.
Sean Puffy Combs was there
It was a long time ago.
smoking weed.
If he was
Yeah.
called that.
Yeah, one of my friends.
I don't know what he's called, but then I
Changes
think he
his
was
name
Puff.
every,
Love.
Did he?
now it's Love.
No, I think
his
he-
name is Love.
It's Love now.
Yeah. He legally changed
He
it.
legally changed his name, Love. That's his
Love,
first name.
Love Combs.
Yeah.
What about brushes?
On that note.
That's a good one.
That's crazy. So his name is Love. I didn't.
Yeah.
Even, I didn't
No,
even
he-
know that one.
Brother
I'm
Love.
gonna change my name to Brock.
Brock.
Broccoli.
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 Well, it's already Bradley. Bradley.
You are hilarious.
It's gonna be broccoli.
Broccoli.
She was like Brock Leia. What's
Brock
that?
Leia.
Can't get it out
Are
of your
you
head. what to say.
related to Princess Leia?
Princess Leia. Maybe it was Lee. Well, Domo, how can they find you
They
on
can
your?
find me on IG on Domo Monster 7.
And then if Brad here was to ever get a divorce, where could they find the spicy
You could
stuff?
go
at?
to the spicy page, Onyx Muse XO.
Okay. And you can find me. I'm just at Green Room Radio.
And of course, add DJ Super James.
Which, by the way, I appreciate you coming on, Brad. I know, like I had to do some mind trickery because I'm like, you know what, this guy's looking at our numbers, and I'm like, but he don't understand. I got my account hacked, so now I'm down to nothing with this thing. But I'm like, it only takes one guest to surpass it. But
A bet's a bet.
that is a bet.
And please drop your socials or where they can find you
Yes.
again.
My social security number?
No.
and your ATM pin.
That's what I say at strip clubs. Drop your socials.
Dude, I give my social out all the time. It doesn't scare me. Like, what are you gonna do with my social security card or number?
I
Yeah.
don't understand that either. That
Fuck.
Yeah.
Like in
may
bank
get a
accounts, people are like,
little-
don't give out your bank account. I'll give you my bank account number. All
Little
you're gonna do is
identity
make a
theft.
deposit.
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead and throw something in there.
Yeah.
But on social, you can find me at The Real Brad Lee. That's LEA, of course. And it's
Yeah.
The Real.
It is
You
The
know
Real.
what's funny is I
That's
started multiple companies this year, one of which is a lead company where I sell leads to people.
I heard that's a very good business.
Yeah, and I said, the slogan is, if you don't get leads from me, you just get the D.
You really use that?
I'm gonna
because-
try
because
these
it's
on every
L-
girl.
LEA
Because
Oh,
if,
without
you,
the D.
if you get rid of LEA, there's just the D. So I'm like, dude, if you don't get leads from me, you're just getting the D.
Can I get that on a shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Merch.
yeah. Did you ever think about doing merch? Where's your merch
Yeah.
line, dude?
You go to fuck,
Provocateur.
I don't know where it's like,
The
go
D,
to droppingbombs.com for dropping bombs merch.
the
So you do
you gotta-
have merch for the Dropping Bombs?
I
podcast?
got like this is my merch where it says
real?
real. Yeah, because everything's real.
So I can't.
Real financial, real solar, real merchant services, just real. They're real companies with real people making real money. Come on.
Do you do merchant services?
Yeah.
High risk
I
transactions.
doubt.
Yeah.
I dab. We dab. We,
Dispensaries.
Anything.
Adult transactions.
Oh, yeah, especially.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk then.
yeah, we
As
dabble
long as
around.
there's
with-
residue.
we dabble around.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, we appreciate
All
you coming
right,
on,
thank you
Brad.
so much.
You are the man.
Hey, you guys sound like real hosts and shit.
Yeah.
And shit.
And
And
shit.
shit.
And shit.
Yeah.
And shout out to Rachel for being
Don't forget.
over there.
Shout out for Rachel for bringing me the
Yeah.
gift.
Don't forget your socks.
I'm going to take these and return them.
Yes. Do that.
I'll give you the receipt.
Just joking. Appreciate it. That was nice.